Hello everyone, this is Afmanizor from ManiFx.net, and in fact for past 2 days we had a very nice trade on GBP JPY. In fact this was just yesterday alone, and this was a previous day, and then this is 2 days ago. So basically we had a very nice bullish trend from this up to this. That's when we close. So you can imagine that how many pips we actually made from 141.245 to 144.471, something like that. So this is in fact how accurate this system is that once you just enter your trade, you don't really need to be worrying about whether it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. So I'm going to tell you each and every part that it is not going to work. It's just a set and forget. So you just wait for you later on to come and check if it closes with your profit. So and the other thing is that probably some people maybe sold GBP JPY for some cases, but it was just fully going up. That's the beauty about this system. So today we are going to set up, or we're going to install our system from scratch. So let me just delete this GBP OZ, and then I'm going to start installing from scratch. So first things first, so basically once we just for a little information about my system is that Renko depends on 2 charts that should be open. So there is a online chart and then there is offline chart. So as you can see that all these charts that I've opened here, there is a respective M1. So the Renko charts are on M10, and then their respective charts are on M1. So all the M1 charts are what we call the online chart, and then the M10 charts, which are the Renko charts, are the offline chart. So what is the use of online chart and offline chart? First of all, the online chart is the chart that we use to capture the data from the market. So it is actually the actual data from the market. And then we transfer that data into M10 chart, where we're going to interpret the data using our indicators. So at the end of the day, what links the online chart and the offline chart? So basically, there is an expert advisor. As you can see here, it is called ManiFx Renko Builder Expert. So actually, this is an expert advisor which connects the M1, and then it transfers the data to M10. So the very first thing that you should know is that always make sure that the M1 and the M1 chart are always open. I remember one of the people that I sold my system, he kept on saying that how come my chart on the M10 does not move? The price does not move. And then I just told him that, did you follow the manual that I gave you to install? And it is actually very straightforward. And he said that everything is quite perfect. But the thing is that all my charts, no movement at all. So I just told him that, can you just give me the screenshot of your MT4? Only coming to realize that he has closed all the M1 charts. So at the end of the day is that, where does the M10 get the data? So it gets the data from nowhere. And then the other thing is that, do not open so many charts. You may find maybe somebody is opening maybe 20 charts and all that. So it means that if you open 20 charts, you're going to have a duplicate of that. So it's going to be 40 charts on your screen. But at the end of the day, you're going to utilize more of your computer resources. So what happens? Your computer is going to crash. And then at the end of my tutorials, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to manage your MT4 so that it's not gonna crash, and if it crashes, what you should do and all that. You don't, because most of the people that whatever something happens to the MT4 when it crashes, they just delete the MT4 and then they start again. So do not do that. Okay, so let us go now. So how to install? So the very first things first is that when you download your MT4 from my web, when you download my system from my website, or if I've given you, I'll actually give you a zipped file like this. So it's gonna be a Georenko system 2019. And basically, as I said before, that geo is not geography, or it's not geoauthentic or something like that. Geo is a short term of geometric. So it's geometric Renko system. So as I say that my system is developed of course it's developed under geometric mathematics. So once you get a zipped file like this, and then you right click. Oh, I'm so sorry for that. There's a helicopter above my house. What you need to do, you need to extract your files. So once you extract your files, you'll get a folder like this. So inside, you're going to get the 3 folders, where there's a experts folder, and then there's a indicators folder, and then there's a templates folder. So in the indicators, make sure that you have 5 indicators within it. There's a trend reversal, there's support resistance, there's a Fourier forecast, exit semaphore, and entry semaphore, and all of them are in EX4 EX4 format, or EX4 extension. So now we do the installation. So the installation is very, very simple. It does not need any of geeky mind or what. Okay, so what you do first, go to your MT4 and then click on file, and then open data folder. So when you open data folder, you go to, you'll get this list of files. Okay, so you go to, this is, let me just show you this. Okay, so these are the downloaded files, or the downloaded folder and files from my system, or from the website that you downloaded. And then all these folders, whatever the content inside here, you should copy them and paste in the MetaTrader folders. Okay, so the content of templates here, you right click, you copy, and then you go to the templates here, and then you right click, you paste. Okay, so as you can see that my template is already here, and then you go back here, and then go to MQL4, and then go to experts. So you come back here, you come back to this folder which you downloaded, you go to experts, you copy this Renko Builder expert, you right click, you copy, and then you come back here, you paste it. Okay, and then you go again to indicators. So you, in the indicators, you just go back here, you copy the contents of the indicators, make sure that there are 5 files, and then you copy them and paste them here under MQL4 indicators, and make sure you don't paste in the wrong file. So indicators should be pasted in the indicators folders, templates should be the content of templates should be placed in the templates folder, as well as the contents of expert advisors should be pasted in the expert advisors folder. And then once you finish that, you come here at navigators panel. So if you don't get your navigators panel, you just need to go to view and then choose navigators panel, and then your navigators panel will appear. So you right click anywhere here, and you say refresh. So when you refresh, it means that the installed files, they are going to appear on the navigators folder. So once you just click refresh, and then all your indicators should be, should appear here. And then now we have to start doing the installation. The other way of refreshing your MT4 is closing it. You can just come and click here and then reopen again, and everything will come back. So I'm now going to install. So the very first things first, I need to put the expert advisor on M1. So the expert advisor, in fact, is going to help us to capture the data from the market, and then we're going to build the Renko chart, and then from there we're going to interpret the data using the indicators. So when you say that we interpret the data, is that what does the data telling us? Does it tell us that we need to buy right now, we need to sell, or we need to wait, something like that? So I'm going to open a chart from a new window. And as you can see that most of my charts are here are GBP, and later on I'm going to give you another tips that why I'm trading mostly the GBP pairs. And in fact, I have GBP Canadian dollar, I have GBP USD, I have USD CAD, GBP, JPY, Euro USD. In fact, these are the GBP NZD. So in fact, these are the only charts that I'm trading, and right now I'm just opening GBP Aussie. So you can see that my charts are full of GBPs, but I have opened also Euro USD and the USD CAD. But at the end of the day is that I will tell you later why I mean at the end of my training on the tips and tricks, that why I'm trading mostly the GBP pairs compared to others, and even other pairs that I'm trading, why I focus more on Euro USD and USD CAD. I'll tell you all that. But one thing I should put in your mind is that it does not mean that my system only works on the Forex pair, I mean the currencies. It works for currencies, it works for commodities like gold, silver, and all that, and then it also works for cryptocurrencies. The only difference is that the currencies, except the South African rand, the setting is the same. But for cryptocurrencies, the setting is different, as well as the commodities, the setting is different. But and it's only one parameter which you will need to change: the number of pips defining your Renko bars. That's it. But the rest of the things remain the same, and I will explain to you later. So, going back to our part of installing, so the very first key thing you have to do is that to make sure that the M1 chart is active. And why are we why are we selecting M1 instead of maybe week 1, daily 1, and all that? Because we want to capture the data for every movement of the price. So at the end of the day is that the least movement it can go, it means it is going to be our data. So if we just maybe capture the data from 1 hour, it means that we are going to leave some data behind. But we are going to use M1 chart, so that because you can see that M1 is the least of the time frame that are indicated here. So what you have to do first is that you need to capture the data from the history, or from the list history that the data, the MT4 is captured. So the very first thing is that once you open your M1, make sure that you press the home key on your keyboard until it goes back whereby it can no longer moves it can no longer moves to the left or scrolling to the left. But make sure that the scroll buttons, they scroll the chart to the end, as well as that the shift end of the chart to the right border, make sure that they are deselected, so they are inactive, in other words. So make sure that these are inactive, and then you have selected the M1, and then you have to press home continuously to the extent that your chart does not move. Because I opened it before, the GBP Aussie. That's why it went so fast. But at the end of the day, if you open the first time, it's gonna take maybe some few seconds in order to collect all the data. So as you can see that according to the MT4, it has collected the data from 31st January 2019. And then we are going to insert now the expert advisor. So I'm going to take the expert advisor, the Renko builder chart, and then I'm going to drop it on my, my MT4 or on my M1 chart. So now we have some parameters that we need to configure right here. So the very first thing is that the starting price. Now this is the point that you really have to be careful on. The starting price is that what is the least price, the least price which can have according to maybe GBP Aussie. So it means that you have to verify, to check that how many figures are before the decimal places. So in fact, there is only one figure, so which is 1. So the least price in fact is going to be 1 because we only have one figure before the decimal place. And then the other thing is that the Renko box size. I've played around with so many Renko box sizes. I have put 24. I've been using 8. When I was starting building my system, I was using 2, which is in fact very fast. But I've realized that the one which actually gave me a consistent profit and it was actually very stable was 48. What is the meaning of the Renko box size? The Renko box size is the number of pips which every box is defined. So it means that if the price is going to move maybe 48 pips, it's going to draw a box. And then if it moves again further 48 pips, it's going to draw another box or most people they call it the Renko bars. So you use the terms interchangeably, Renko box or Renko bar. So at the end of the day is that each Renko bar or Renko box, it means that it consists of 48 pips. So every movement, either bullish or bearish, is going, if it's going to complete the 48 pips, then only another bar or another box is going to be created. Now, this is the box shift percentage. This is where we define the geometry of our trend. So it means that because 25 is a bit of standard, because this one is again different from the normal Renko, because normal Renko there is no shifting at all, but shifting of the bars. But when we use the geometric Renko, it means that we shift in a certain degree, that if it goes up, it's going to be shifted at 45 degrees. If it is going to go down, it means going to be shifted at 315 degrees. So at the end of the day is that when I was shifting this one, I came to realize that the most accurate of all is 6.25. And this means that it's going to go to the very optimum point in the bullish or in bearish trend, whereby we are going to make sure that if it goes into maybe bullish direction, it has to reach to the very end before it actually turns back, which is not going to be seen in the standard Renko chart, whereby you might find the boxes up and down, but this one, if the trend is going up, is going to draw the blue until you finish that trend. Even if that the market is not going to be trendy, at the end of the day is that it is, we according to our indicators, it's going to show us that the market is not that trendy. But at the end of the day, if the trend picks up, it's going to go in a certain direction. So you don't need to worry about that. But we shift the percentage in order to get the very optimum point in a certain direction. And then do not feel anything on Renko box offset, because we don't have the offset measurements. And then time frame. Now the Renko time frame, we're going to be putting 10. That at the end of the day, I'm going to define my data, to derive my data in M10 chart. But at the end of the day, do not confuse the Renko time frame with the normal time frame, because this one is just how fast or how slow do you want to capture your data, but I mean to derive your data. But at the end of the day is that when we put 2, the time is actually very fast, but when you put 10, it's very standard. It's not slow, it's not fast. And then show wicks. Wicks are just like in normal candlesticks. I don't want to get the wicks. And then maximum bars, it means that how many bars do you want to see on your Renko chart. Okay, so I want to see 20,000 bars, which is okay. The bigger number you put here, the more your resources are going to use. And then the rest here, we're not going to touch it. So I'm repeating again, the starting price is 1 because we only have one figure, and the list figure is 1. So if probably here it was 0.80 blah blah, so at the end of the day we're gonna put 0. But the starting price for any pair which has JPY, it is going to be 100, because 100 is the least number in 3 figures number before the decimal place. So any JPY pairs, the starting price has to be 100. So and any single digit number, we're starting with 1. So it means that the pair, we're gonna start with 1. Okay. So at the end of the day, the box Renko size has to be 48, the shift percentage has to be 6.25, and then Renko box offset is going to be 0, Renko time frame is going to be 10, show wicks false, maximum bars 20,000, emulated on the line chart true, strange symbol name, we don't want to have any symbol, so it's going to be false. Now coming to common. Here is we are going to enable and disable some of the functions here. So always allow the DLL imports. DLL imports are just some external files which you use to maybe to communicate between the charts and all that. So make sure that the DLL imports are active, because your M10 chart or the offline chart is going to import data from the M1 chart. So always make sure that it is active. The other thing is that always allow the live trading, because live trading is where it helps you, the expert advisor, to run. Okay, so if you disallow this or you disable this, it is not going to work. So allow import and external experts, that put it a tick. Allow modification of signal settings, we don't want to do that. Enable alerts, put it on. And then long shorts, it means that the buy and sell positions are going to take, so make sure that you enable that. And then the other thing is that, so here we've put all our settings, and here we've put all our settings, and click OK. And then you're going to get a message here which says Renko live chart shifted, with 48 pips, shifted at 6.25%, and then open offline GBP Aussie M10 to view the chart. Okay. The other thing is that always make sure that allow the auto trading. If this is inactive, nothing is going to work on the M10. So now we're going to, we've already set up the M1 chart, and then we're now going to open the M10 chart. So if you want to know that you have already set up everything correctly, it means you're going to get here a smiling face on your expert, Renko builder expert is going to have a smiling face. If anything is wrong, especially maybe if you don't allow the live trading, it means you're going to get a sad face. So always make sure that you allow the live trading. So if everything is okay, you're gonna get a smiling face. And now we are ready to build a Renko chart. So to build a Renko chart, you're gonna get to file and then open offline chart. So here you're going to search for GBP Aussie M10. Do not get any other time apart from M10, because we captured and derived it on the M10 as we set on our M1. So and then you click open. So you're gonna get something similar to this, because it is nothing indicators or anything. So something like some sharp movements and all that. So at the end of the day is that this, if you see this, it means that now your chart has been opened successfully. So on our next video on now how to use my system, I'm going to explain it further, but up to here is how you are going to build a chart, and then how you're going to build the Renko chart. And then just to remind you that I somehow say that if we are going to use the JPY pairs, it means that in the input, the starting price is going to be 100. Because we have the 3 digits here, it means the lowest number is going to be 100 in the 3 digits. So that is the point you have to note. So any JPY pairs, it is written in 3 digits before the decimal place. So at the end of the day, the starting price has to be 100. But the rest of the parameters are exactly the same. But let's go to USD card. So USD card has 1 digit before the decimal place, and the least one is going to be 1. Let's see again. GBP card, again one digit, so the starting price is 1. And then GBP USD again is 1, but the rest of other parameters are all the same. So this is in fact how it works. Okay, so let us now jump into the next tutorial on how now we're going to put the indicators and how are we going to run our system. Thank you very much, and wait for the next tutorial. This is Afman Izoa from ManiFx.net.